first thing you need to do is be safe. Disconnect the appliance or turn off the breaker to avoid electric shock. Hello guys, welcome to DIY Repair Now. Today we're going to be working on a GE side-by-side. The model number is on the display. And the problem that we have with this refrigerator is that it's accumulating ice on the freezer side. Like back in this wall was full of ice. It's not there because we already have defrosted. But as you see, that back part was full of ice, and we put some towels there and some rags to catch some of the water, because otherwise it will go down to the drain pan on the bottom and it will get overfilled. So we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the refrigerator to start working on it, because that accumulation of ice is an indication that it's a defrost problem. We're gonna go ahead and remove the cover for the light bulb and also the light bulb. And we're gonna go ahead and start removing the force of 1/4 screws that holds this back panel on the freezer. Now just go ahead and follow the video. Now as you see, those coils should not be frost like that. We see some connections here. It looks like they already have replaced some of these parts in the past. Now go ahead and use a steamer to defrost the coils, or if you don't have a steamer, go ahead and use a hair dryer. But I recommend that it's best for you to let it thaw out, let it defrost on its own. That way you don't damage the cabinet with a hair dryer. The steamer should be fine. This is the part that we're going to be replacing today, is the Defrost Kit. And this includes 3 parts: the Defrost Heater, the Defrost Thermostat, and the Thermistor. Now, Amazon sells this as a kit, but GE, which is the manufacturing, will not sell it all together. Now, one of these parts is giving us issue, but when one of them goes bad, most likely the other ones are gonna go bad pretty soon. So that's the reason why we replace all 3. But most likely in this case is either the Defrost Thermostat or Defrost Heater or the Thermistor that is not reading the right temperature and is accumulating ice. To eliminate these possibilities, we're gonna go ahead and replace all 3. The reason why I do it this way is because I want to give you guys the opportunity to replace all 3 parts for a low price. You can get this at Amazon for a very fair price, for about $20–25, and you can replace all 3. If you order them one at a time, it will be more if you order the OEMs, but these are aftermarket, but they work really good. This is the Defrost Thermostat. This is what I'm removing right now, but my camera was tilted, but I'm just want to let you know that I was detaching the Defrost Thermostat. Right now I got wire nuts here because they already have replaced this part, but most likely for you, you're gonna have to cut the wires because they are not wire nuts. They're probably not gonna be wire nuts for you. So just cut the wires that goes to the Defrost Thermostat and cut the wires that goes to the Thermistor. Now on this case, I would like to remove the heat element from the housing to be able to detach these terminals, because if you do it in place, you probably damage the heat element. But in this case, we already replacing it. So, you know, if you're only testing, just go ahead and remove it. Try not to detach those terminals while the heat element is in place. Now, to be able to test this heat element, go ahead and put one lead in one terminal and the other lead in the other one, and it should give you continuity. If it beeps, or it give you continuity, depending on the tester that you have, you'll be able to test it. Now I'm removing the Defrost Thermostat. If you don't have a tester and you don't know how to troubleshoot, just order all 3 parts. This is the thermostat that you see in the picture. This is what I'm going to go ahead and install. This means that this thermostat turns on at 30 degrees Fahrenheit and it turns off at 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So what is this is telling you that to be able to test this thermostat, it have to be lower than 30 degrees, and it's very hard to get this at 30 degrees. The only way to test it is when it's on and the coils are full of ice, like you saw on this video. Because even if you put it in a cup of water will go up to 32 degrees on cold temperature, 32, 34, 35, 36, but it will be hard to get a cup of ice lower than 30 degrees. So the only way to test this is if it's frost. So if you really want to do this test, what you got to do is put this thermostat in a bottle of water and put it to the freezer and frost the water in the cup while this is frost. Then it will go to 0 degrees and you will be able to test because it will be lower than 30 degrees, and that should give you continuity in these two leads with the tester. So I hope you understood what I explained on this video. Otherwise, later on in this video, I will explain you in detail how to test these 3 parts. Also, if you need this part, there's going to be a link on the description of this video. As you see right now, I'm going to go ahead and test the defrost thermostat, but that part should be inside of ice to be able to test it. If it's a room temperature, it's not going to give me any continuity. We already tested the heater and we saw that it was in bad condition, but it will still test good. However, we're just going to go ahead and replace it as a maintenance. You see the terminal here is all corroded, and it's going to be hard to get that in place. Sometimes they will open and it will be too loose, and sometimes it will be too hard to get it in there because of the corrosion in the burn spots. So if you have a terminal this side, go ahead and replace it. In my case, I'm gonna go ahead and send it out, clean it out, pinch the connection, that way it's gonna be tight on the new. The terminal seems to be fine still, is the plastic cover around it what has burn spots. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that by putting some electrical tape around it. But as you see, is going in, it's kind of too tight, but it went in. And right now I'm just putting electrical tape just to secure the terminal in place and to prevent from water to going in the terminal. However, these parts are made and meant to do that, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Just trying to do the best you can and work with what you got. As you see, I'm replacing the old tape that was holding the wire in place. Now I'm putting it back where it should be. And I'm gonna keep reminding you, go ahead and when you're defrosting everything, go ahead and put some racks in the bottom, because otherwise the water that you are melting is just gonna go to the bottom of the refrigerator and the drain pan, and it's gonna be water all over the floor. So try to catch the water much as you can on the bottom of the coil. Go ahead and install the 2 Phillips screws. And now, like I was saying, I apologize, but my camera was tilted down. This is a very tight spot right now. What I'm doing, I'm installing the defrost thermostat. So whatever I don't get in camera, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on a picture and explain to you what I am doing. This is the defrost thermostat. As you see, that's what I was doing. I was replacing the thermostat, putting some wire nuts, and I'm still working on it. Okay, so just scrape your wires and install the new one, and just put it in place where it goes in the same spot. Try to take pictures, by the way. I'm giving you a couple tips. Try to take pictures before you remove anything to find out later on where everything is going. Right now I'm scraping the wires out of the Thermistor, and again, later on in this video I have another video clip that's where I explain everything exactly how you test a GE Thermistor and how do you test a Defrost thermostat. Again, I didn't have that in camera, but I'm showing you in a picture what I was doing because my camera was tilted. So you can just follow the video and that's gonna help you. Remove the metal clip from the old Thermistor. And by the way, the only thing that didn't test good, it was the thermostat. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to test a Thermistor. If you have a multimeter tester, go ahead and set it to read ohms. Okay, kilo ohms, as you see right there is checking. It says K is kilo ohms. So right now I got one of my leads connected to it. I'm gonna connect the other one. In a room temperature, it should give you around 6 and 5. Right now it's giving me 5.4. So right now it's okay because it's reading 5. Now to be able to do a good test, you have to put this in ice cold water. This water is gonna be out of a temperature about 32 degrees. So around 32, 34 degrees, it should go down to about 16 kilo ohms over here. So let's see when we put it in a cup of water with ice. You gotta make sure the leads are testing correctly. So if it goes to about 15, 16 kilo ohms, that means the thermistor is fine. Now if this starts reading crazy numbers, 60, 100, 200, that means the thermistor is damaged inside. See right now about 14 in a cup of water with ice, and it's about reading 15. So normally the chart would tell you about 15 and 16 degrees, but it's an average number. Now as you saw, it's getting steady around 15. So this means that this thermistor is fine. If it goes to a room temperature, again, when it goes back to a room temperature, it should get readings about 5 kilo ohms. When it's in a cup with ice, with water and ice, it should read 16 degrees. So keep that in mind. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do a demonstration to test the Defrost thermostat. This is a Defrost thermostat. Yours might look different. I'm gonna go ahead and put in camera right now. This one is it should be closing at 22 degrees. It should be open at 47 degrees. This means this will click on at 22 degrees and it should turn off at 47 degrees. What I'm telling you is that a lot of people say it's online that it should come on when you put it in a cup of water. This water is about 32 degrees. This water will never get this thermostat to a 22 degrees because the water and the ice, the lowest will go is about 32, 34 degrees. So if you really want to test this thermostat, what you will do is you're going to go ahead and put, see right now I have no continuity. If this was frost, it should be giving me continuity and we should be hearing a beeping sound. We don't hear that is because this thermostat, to be able to test it, it should be in a temperature below 22 degrees. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the freezer, and we're gonna let it frost, and I'm gonna show you guys if this thermostat is good or not when it's frost. Okay, this is a good test to test a defrost thermostat. As you see, it's frost inside of a water cup because I put it on the freezer. So all this is ice. It should be giving me continuity, but it's not. So that means this is a bad thermostat, but you probably not gonna go through all that. So I recommend to just go ahead and order the kit and replace all 3 parts. Okay, as you saw, it didn't give me any continuity on the frost water, basically solid ice, and it was no continuity. So that means this is not good. Now I want to give you a demonstration how it would test with a brand new one. This is the WR50x60 defrost thermostat, and this one should be turning on at 32 degrees and turning off at 60 degrees. So once I get this at 32, like I was saying, this water will not get any lower than 34, 30. In fact, we're gonna go ahead and check the temperature inside the cup where the 2 thermostats are. Right now the water, it's at 34 degrees, and remember this have to go below 32 degrees as I show on camera. Now we're gonna go ahead and put this right here, and we're gonna go ahead and set it to read continuity. But we're gonna go ahead and put it to the refrigerator. We're gonna go ahead and put it to the refrigerator to be able to frost this and see if it's gonna give us continuity, because the old one, we checked that and it didn't give us any continuity while it was frost. So you will see the difference. And this is what I'm saying. This is a brand new defrost thermostat, and it's not giving me any continuity. Like if it's bad, it's not that it's bad, is that it needs to be below 32 degrees in the water. This is the temperature. I'm testing the temperature with this, exactly where the defrost thermostat is, 35 degrees. So this is what I was trying to explain to you guys. So now we're gonna go ahead and put this water on the refrigerator and see if it gives us continuity while it's frost, because it's a brand new defrost thermostat. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the final testing. I got the tester to read for continuity. We got solid ice, and this is the old defrost thermostat. Nothing. That's the bad defrost thermostat. Now we have this in solid ice, and as you see, we have continuity, and it's making a sound. It's making a beep sound. So this is the brand new defrost thermostat that I have for a GE. This is the defrost thermostat that I use for all GEs and basically all the models, even Whirlpools. I use the same ones. That's the part number. And as you see, I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. And we have continuity. Okay, if you want to do this test, remember it have to be solid ice. I got it out and it was ice a little bit. I got it out like in about 30 minutes and it was still not giving me continuity. You have to leave it there for an hour, 2 hours, and make sure it's solid ice to be able to test the defrost thermostat. Or you can test it while it's in the coils frost over, and that will give you continuity if it's good. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to test the heat element, and we're gonna test for continuity. This is the GE heat element, and you're gonna go ahead and put one lead in one of the terminals there and the other lead in the other terminal, and that's how simple it is. If you have a tester to test for continuity, this is how you test it. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and put some kind of silicone inside the wire nuts to prevent from moisture or water inside the connections. The silicone is going to prevent from any humidity that gets inside the wiring and corrode the wiring over time. So go ahead and put silicone in every connection that you do with wire nuts, which in this case I did the Thermistor and the defrost thermostat. I know I didn't got the other parts good on video, but as you can see right now, you see everything that I did as far as replacing the defrost thermostat and the Thermistor. And as you see, I'm putting silicone in every one of the wire nuts. I've been doing this for a long time, and I never had an issue doing it this way. At this point, we're pretty much done. So just go ahead and install your ground cable where you found it, which it was in this front back freezer panel. And go ahead and install all your 4 screws that holds the back panel. Install your light bulb. And remove the racks. Remember, again, go ahead and put some racks or towel or anything to catch the water when you are melting with the steamer or your hair dryer, or if you're disconnected to let it thaw out overnight, go ahead and get that. Go ahead and install all your shells. And remember, guys, if you don't have a tester, just go ahead and order this kit, because if you are having ice in that freezer back wall, that means in the back panel, that means you have a defrost problem in these 3 parts. Replacing these 3 parts will take care of that. Go ahead and plug your refrigerator in, and we are done. At the time that we are editing this video, it's been about a couple months and we have no issues. Just go ahead and set the temperatures where they should be. Issue says recommendation settings in front of this touchpad panel, and just set it whatever temperature you like or whatever is recommended. Go ahead and install your ice tray back.
If this video helped you in any way, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for future videos. Thanks for watching.